It is essential to understand the actual cost of living in Toronto. Understanding these key costs can help you avoid overpaying for goods and services in Toronto, potentially saving you thousands of dollars in the process. This video outlines the primary expenses you can expect, organized from the highest to the lowest cost, to assist you in effective financial planning before moving to Toronto. You may ask, who am I to talk about these topics? For those who don't know me, I'm a Toronto real estate agent who knows the city in and out. You may also have seen me on global news discussing real estate topics as well. I'll put the timestamps under this video, so if you need to go back and forth to a part later, you can use the timestamps. In order to help us provide you with more contents like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel and like the video. Let's get started. So I'm gonna start with number one, which is housing costs. Housing is typically the most significant expense for Toronto residents. As of early 2025, the average monthly rent for a one-bedroom apartment with parking in the downtown Toronto is approximately $2,400, while three-bedroom apartments in the downtown Toronto with parking and a view would cost you $4,400. Outside of the city, for example, areas like 905 areas that are outside of 416 area, which is Toronto proper, these figures are slightly lower, which with one-bedroom apartments averaging $2,100 and three-bedroom units averaging around $3,600. For those considering purchasing property, the average home price in the Greater Toronto area is approximately, as of today, actually $1,080,000. But the average price of a, let's say, for example, a detached home in the city of Toronto is north of $1.7 million. So it's important to note that the housing prices can vary significantly depending on the neighborhood and proximity to amenities. The second one is transportation. Toronto boasts an extensive public transportation system operated by Toronto Transit Commission. In short, we call them TTC, which includes buses, streetcars, and subways. A one-way fare is approximately slightly more than $3, and the monthly pass costs around $156. For those of you who prefer driving, additional expenses such as fuel, like gas, price at about $1.5 per liter, insurance, parking expenses, maintenance also should be factored into your budget. The third one is utilities. In addition to housing costs, utilities are a necessary consideration. For a, let's say, for example, 900 square feet apartment, the average monthly cost for basic utilities, including electricity, heating, cooling, water, garbage collection, is approximately around $150 to $160. Internet services with higher speeds, like there are gigabit speeds or lower or higher, more or less, and unlimited data typically add around $70 per month, bringing the total average utility cost to about $230 to $240 per month. Number four is groceries. Grocery expenses in Toronto vary based on personal preferences and dietary needs. On average, a single person can expect to spend between $200 to $300 per month at least on groceries. Here's a breakdown of average prices for common grocery items. I'm not going to go through them. You can pause the video and take a look at the items either here or here. It depends where my video editor puts them. Fifth one is healthcare. Ontario's healthcare system provides residents with access to a wide range of medical services throughout the Ontario Health Insurance Plan. We call it OHIP. However, some newcomers may need to obtain private health insurance to cover certain services not included in the provincial plans. The cost of private health insurance varies again depending on the coverage and the provider. Number six is miscellaneous expenses. Additional costs such as clothing, entertainment, and personal care can vary wildly based on individual lifestyle. On average, a single person might spend around $200 to $300 per month at least on these miscellaneous expenses. And here are some more additional costs that you should be aware of. Number seven, immigration and legal fees for newcomers, because normally these videos are being watched by newcomers. That's why I'm putting it there. But if you're not a newcomer, you can skip this part and you go to the next part. So for newcomers, immigration related expenses are a significant initial cost as well. These can include permanent residency application fee, which varies by category, for example, express entry application or guarantor application, stuff like that. So those can add up cost to north of $1,000. A study permit application fees $150, work permit fees around $155, citizenship application around $630 for adults, biometric fees, legal consultant fees, and so on. So these fees can range from $1,500 to $5,000 depending on the complex. Number eight is childcare and education. For families moving to Toronto, childcare and education can be a significant cost, especially if both parents are working. Daycare costs could range from $1,200 to $2,000 per month for a full-time daycare spot. Before and after school care could cost you between $500 to $900 per month. Private school fees, if you opt for private school, education tuition can range from $10,000 to north of $35,000 per year. As you can see, these are not cheap. So university tuition fees for international students, which pay much higher tuition in Canada, it would cost higher. Of course, for example, undergrad tuition could be between $25,000 to $60,000 per year, depending on the program and institution. For post-graduation tuitions, you can see the numbers between $20,000 to $50,000 per year as well. So public education, elementary and secondary schools is free for permanent residents and work permit holders. Number 9 is mobile phone plans. You can look it up online, no big deal. Basic plans can starting from $50 per month or cheaper to mid-tier plans to unlimited data plans, which can go north of $90 or $100 per month. Major providers include Bell, Rogers, and TELUS, as well as more budget-friendly options like Fido, Virgin Plus, and Freedom Mobile. So the number 10 would be banking and financial services. When setting up in Toronto, newcomers may face some financial expense related to the banking. So bank account setup would maybe in some cases maybe cost you. Also getting a credit card would also may take some time for you. And credit cards also, it depends on your account, but most of the times credit card has fees. For example, basic credit cards has fees between $99 per year to $150 per year. On top of that, you have to consider currency exchanges and international transfer fees. Depending on the service provider, you should consider between 1 to 3% per transaction for those kind of transactions. Number 11 is personal and home insurance. Insurance is crucial for protection against unexpected costs. So tenant insurance, if you're renting a place, is somewhere between $20 to $50 per month, covers personal belongings and liabilities. Home insurance, if you're buying a home, would cost you probably around $100 per month. Life insurance, again, is optional, but some people get it, some people don't, can cost you as cheap as $30 to north of few $100s per month. Number 12 is clothing and seasonal wear. So Toronto has 4 distinct seasons, including harsh winters, so you may need to budget for new clothing. So winter coat would cost you probably between $150 to $500. Of course, there are like more high-end products, more expensive than that, going above $1,500 for a winter coat. Winter boots between $100 to $300, average option. Gloves, hat, scarf, general clothing budget, so let's say can be between $50 to $200 as well per month, depending on the shopping habits and how low or high maintenance you could be. Number 13 is entertainment and leisure. So living in Toronto isn't just about paying the bills and surviving. You will also want to enjoy the city as well. So you may go to the gym. Gym memberships can be from like $40 to north of $100 per month, or some gyms are above $300 per month. Streaming services such as Netflix, Disney Plus, whatever, you should consider, let's say for example, $20 to $25 per month for those as well. Movie tickets between $14 to $30 per ticket. Concert events can go above $100 to $200 per ticket. I mean, some concert, for example, Taylor Swift, were going like thousands of dollars. Some of those tickets were selling on the market. Sports, recreational activities, for example, the Blue Jays game can cost you, the cheapest ticket would probably cost you $30, and it can go north of $200 where you're gonna stay in the Rogers Center. I don't know if they still call it Rogers Center or not. They changed the name every once in a while. And also you have to budget for ice skating, skiing, yoga, etc. if you're into those programs. So number 14 is furniture and household items. If you're moving into an unfurnished apartment, expect to spend some money on the basic furniture and application. Basic furniture including bed, sofa, table, chairs, etc. It can cost you, for example, between $1,500 to $3,000 or $4,000, and it's a one-time cost. Of course, you can buy used furniture from Facebook Marketplace, Kijiji, IKEA deals. You can probably spend like much less than that number. Let's say, for example, somewhere between $500 to $1,500. Appliances, let's say microwave, toaster, etc. You can also buy them new or get them from Facebook Marketplace or Kijiji. Let's say between $200, $300 to $500 or $600. So some rental units also come partially or fully furnished. So in that case, you're not going to have these costs. Number 15 is professional licensing and training. So certain jobs in Canada require credentials, recognition, or recertification. So credential assessments, for example, like World Education System, ICAS, etc. They will probably charge you between $200 to $350. There are other professional licensing exams. So for example, professional engineers, doctors, lawyers, accountants, etc. That would cost north of $500 to sometimes $5,000-$6,000. So depending on the profession, there are some tests, for example, IELTS, English language proficiency, or French language proficiency tests. They probably cost you between $200 to $400 each. If you need to take take additional course or training programs, those costs can add up as well. Number 16 is unexpected and emergency costs. Newcomers should have an emergency fund for unexpected expenses. Emergency fund recommendation would be like, what I recommend is like at least 1 or 2 months of living expenses. So between 3, 4 to let's say $10,000 is a good budget that you have on the side as an emergency budget. If you are new to Canada or Toronto, and if you're going to rent a place, make sure to watch this video that I'm going to put the link down there. This video is going to help you to know what to do and what not to do in order to avoid the scams when renting a place in Toronto. So all in all, how much should a newcomer budget for a comfortable life in Toronto? A newcomer should aim for a monthly income at least between $4,500 to $5,500 before taxes. Minimum survival budget would be around $3,000 to $3,500 per month, and a comfortable budget would be between $4,500 per month and above. A family of 4 budget would be between $6,500 to $8,000 per month. Toronto is an expensive city, but with careful budgeting, it is possible to live comfortably. So newcomers should prioritize securing stable income, finding affordable housing, and building an emergency fund.